G'day YouTube, welcome to GJBricks. Today I'm going to do something a bit different, and that is a book review. I have been very kindly sent a book by No Starch Press called Lego Space Projects. I'd like to thank them because No Starch Press do some absolutely lovely books. The quality of their prints is amazing. I love books, I really do. And this one here is by Jeff Friesen, who also did a micro-scale book called Lego Micro Cities, and his builds are exquisite. If you've ever followed him on Instagram or Twitter, you'll see some of the work he does is absolutely stunning. And it's sort of a combination of what he builds and how he photographs it. And he does all the photography in this. As far as I can tell, all the photography is done by him as well in this. It's beautiful. I'm a big sci-fi fan. I haven't done much micro-scale building, so I will be building some of the things out of this. I have a confession. I don't have enough of all the parts to build the models that are in here. I've tried to find parts for all of them, and I could have built you something that looked more like a piece of junk than the beautiful things that are in here. And I just didn't want to do this book a disservice by delivering the biggest hunk of junk in the galaxy as, yeah, name that movie. Trying not to get a copyright infringement, but as you can see straight away, some great projects on here, 52 created models. So I'm going to go through the book, show you some of the photos, the quality of the instructions, and give you my overall thoughts on this. I can't obviously show you too much detail because then you wouldn't need to buy the book. So I have to be a bit careful about how I show you this, but I am allowed to go through it, show you bits and pieces of it. So let's get into this book right now. Lego Space Projects. I just see what I mean about how this is done, this style, the ships. I love this kind of nods back to many different sci-fi movies and TV shows. We've got a bit of Star Trek influence in there. We've got some robots as well. We've got almost what looks like a garbage collector in here, and yeah, you know, standard alien ships. I love that he's included a design for that as well. Right as you go in, he's clearly a Star Trek fan. Things are only impossible until they are not. Jean-Luc Picard, Star Trek The Next Generation. One of the best captains in Star Trek. So straight away you get into here and what they call the Spaceship Encyclopedia. So these are all the models that are in here. It's not just these ones. There is a whole other page of them right here. You get an idea of just how many models there are in here. It's a lot of choice, a lot of techniques, a lot of different styles. You can see, there's a bit of Star Trek going on in here. You've got some of the sort of homeworld style of design, just lots of different things. And they also include some that kind of go back to actual modern day space as well. There's the Galileo satellite in here, for example. We've got the flying saucer, the Area 51 kind of style of designs there. And some of these are exploration ships, some of these are mining ships, some of these are colony ships. He's got a good spread in here of not just focusing on one particular design. And I like the fact that he includes some other things as well, like robots. There's some ground vehicles, stuff like that. So you really do get a good variety. If you want to go all in on space builds at a small scale, you can. And it's probably a lot more accessible to people than actually trying to do minifigure scale stuff. Straight away, again, look at this photography. It's just lovely. Absolutely lovely. Going in, shows you some of the details, the model pieces that you need to build some of these sets. He defines and gives you some background on what is meant by things like greeble, which is the detailing on the outside to make things look more visually interesting. How he's gone about making things sleek, giving it that kind of, I love how he calls this retro-futurism, that kind of nod back to the early days of sci-fi when they were really stretching their wings. And here we go, wings as well. Wings are an important part of spaceships, even though they don't really need them unless they're going into atmosphere. Sorry, getting geeky. Again, it gives you this good digest of some really useful pieces here. You see again and again, like these snot bricks here are very important. These ones here, cameras, megaphones, all of those kind of things are just really useful, and he shows you some of the ideas that you can build just out of these really simple pieces. And engine blocks makes very big use of a lot of these pieces in his builds. As I keep going through it and I'm looking at it and reading the designs and going, Never thought of using those pieces that way, and that's something that's really sort of jumped out in going through this book again and again, is actually how he's using these parts in such creative ways to make shapes, to bring things to life, to make them look like they could actually be functional spaceships. You just wouldn't think of it. I mean, the claws here, like I had to go and look up what that part was. It's the claws from a minifigure. We've got power tools, laser beams, we've got ski poles. Excellent. Again, he just keeps going through and then gives you some tips on buying the bricks you need. Bricklink, our friend Bricklink. You can't go wrong with Bricklink. They're a friend and an enemy all at once. So yeah, we've got going through, again, showing these nice images. And again, he covers how to style up the actual stand you're going to put it on. This is a great foundation. These big discs really do hold and balance the ships well, but he gives you some other ways of doing it, using these clips, using the upside down aerial pieces, depending on how the ship is built itself. So I do hats off for that one here. And then here we go, you know, what I'm saying about different styles. We've got a colony ship here and an exploration kind of ship here. So you can see how the two complement you when you want to start building a fleet. Now what I've done, I can't go through and show you every single design, but I flagged a couple of ones I really like here with my beautiful pink paper at the top here. So I've covered the parts up. As I said, I can't really tell you too much about it, but just like, I like this one. This reminds me of, I wish I could remember the name of the show now, but the one from sort of the 80s where the moon gets blown out of orbit. I think it was before that, the 70s, where the moon gets blown out of orbit, and this very much reminds me of the landers in that one. So yeah, that very much an exploration and utility vehicle. You can imagine this one hopping across the surface of a planet and picking things up, carrying crew around and running specialist tasks. Really, really lovely work. And then next one here, I flagged this one. This is what I mentioned, the Galileo. Galileo space telescopes are stationed on the known universe's lonely frontiers. The way he gives every one of these models a purpose, a background. Every single model has gone to this detail. What it is, how many crew it has, how it gets to where it's going, what it's powered by, even who makes it. That's just hats off, hats off. And again, bins and engine blocks to build a spaceship. Who would have thought? I love the creative use of these pieces. It's just, it really does give you food for thought and inspiration on what you can do. I've included this one here because it's so different, like using this massive girder piece here, using some wings, using lots of dishes everywhere. This one's, I love, it's described as the Greeble Guru Scientific Research Vessel. Like, what a great name for it. And you can really see the way it's used all these specialist parts I was mentioning. We've got aerials, we've got gas valve wheels, we've got bits for telescopes, satellite dishes, another engine piece. Just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is one of my favorite, the Jabberwocky. Kind of looks like a military spaceship in space. And just look at the photograph, how that's done. Like this sleek black spaceship. Photographed, not easy to photograph black. Anybody who's ever tried to photograph black knows just how damn hard it is to get it to look right. And I love how this is built out using hand pistols. We've got some of these engine pieces. This looks like something that would serve a big purpose. Flicking through to the next one. Now, so different, but so important. Hospital ships in space. You need them. Again, a little bit of a nod to kind of a Star Trek-y design with the disc there, and a few other sci-fi movies as well. Almost looks like a bit like a cruise ship as well. You could convert this one quite easily into being a leisure ship or something like that. But I really like the way this looks so different to the other ones as well, using lots of studs on the side. We've got windows everywhere, the Red Cross on the side, and the way the bridge is built up as well. I think this is a great design. And again, the kind of seeing the different profiles of this build gives you all the information about the size of it, how many people it has in there. The fact it's got 1,050 beds and 36 surgical rooms. This is going to help a lot of people. Again, moving on to some of the smaller builds as well. And again, this is important that he's included these small builds as well, which sort of make it a bit more accessible. Using these parts I said at the beginning to make these racers, these ring racers that go around, and you can take this as a foundation and build out into lots of different designs using different colors, different pieces. But you've got this core foundation, and how he's shown how to use pieces like these handlebar pieces to attach the engine, for example, really is clever. Clever. And this is one of my personal favorites. I just really like the way this one looks, the Sun Dragon. There's actually another one in here as well, which has similar wings, a bit smaller than this one. Actually has wing pieces I've never seen before, so I think I'm going to have a go at building that one and this one. But beautiful ship. Love the use of orange and the sand green to make the colours just pop. Again, the photography, how each one of these models is... Like, I don't think this is done in studio. I think these are actually photographs of the model that he's taken and put in here. So, love it. Propulsion, fire breather, nuclear thrusters, and atomic ramjets. Then we get through. Just show you the back cover as well, just because it gives you an inkling of what's in here as well. Shows you some of more details of the parts and some of the ships again. And it just, everything from beginning to end of this, it just oozes quality and inspiration. You can probably tell I enjoyed this immensely. It's an inspirational book to me. Like, a lot of these things are, when you see the quality of what people design, the quality of how they photograph it, put together in what is a work of art to me. I mean, it's just stunning. Like, I mean, down to the colour. Like, it's just the cover. Sorry, it's a very beautiful looking cover. It shows you some beautiful scenes here. You know, little scenes from movies and things like that. I cannot recommend this enough, especially because there's so many little techniques in here that I hadn't seen before. Ways to use bricks, pieces. There's even pieces I hadn't seen before, which, you know, doesn't surprise me because the Lego catalogue is huge. But there really were some surprises about how to use pieces and how they could go together. So I would recommend it even just for that side of things, the techniques that are in here. But if you like sci-fi, recommended it. If you want to build a little micro fleet of starships, recommend it. As I said, I will be picking out a few of the sets in here, the designs in here that remind me of my homeworld days of one of my favourite games there, the sci-fi look in that, and actually start to put together a little micro fleet. I'm not putting many together, but I'm going to use this as an inspiration, and you can see all the little nods to all of the sci-fi TV shows and movies out there that are in here as well. So I really recommend checking it out. And if you are interested, there is a link down in the description to Amazon. It is an affiliate link, so I will get a slight fee from anybody who buys that link, but I do recommend it. I really do. I've got to stop saying I recommend it, but I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I've been reading it all week, just going through, dissecting it. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this. Is this something that appeals to you, or you'd like to have a go at, or is this just what you were looking for? Do you think, nah, I'm going to pass on this one, but I am going to go and check out his other one, the Lego Micro Cities book, which again is linked down below for you for your convenience. And again, thank you to No Starch Press for sending this to me. I'm so honoured to have had the opportunity to go through and read and review this fantastic book. If you're new here, hit subscribe, and I will see you again very soon. Thank you for watching, guys.